And that's saying there's a class over here and there's a class over there. And the reason that this class over here has never did anything to get this class off its back, because this is lower, this is upper, this is the oppressed, this is the oppressor, this is the exploited, this is the exploiter. And these people in this class have divided themselves. They say, I'm black and I hate white people. I'm white and I hate black people. I'm Latin big and I hate hillbillies. I'm hillbilly and I hate Indians. So we fight amongst each other. And you've heard the testimony of pigs here, and you got pigs of all colors, you know that. You got pigs that are white, you got pigs that are black, you even got pigs that are black and white. Propagating the same type of madness that this buffoon Henry had would be propagating if he would hear himself. And why? Because they want to keep you to believing that I'm your enemy, and that everybody else that's black and that wears a lot of hair on his head and hair on his face, they want to keep you thinking that he's your enemy. Why? Because if ever you would disregard him and overlook him just for a minute, and throw away that question of racism and start dealing with a little logic, then there would be no one else you could attack other than hand in hand, other than me.
Welcome to the Council in the Clutch podcast, episode number 8. I'm your boy Cal. Today we got a full house. Today we're joined by Rory.
Yerp.
SP.
Yup.
Dion out of nowhere.
Hey, I'm back.
And we got Quintavious, a.k.a. Q.
We see you.
Salutations.
All right, so it's been a long time since we had the whole crew together. We pretty much talk every day, so ain't no need to catch up. Let's go ahead and get started. So the Zion Williamson thing. He was playing against Carolina. Tried to do a little swivel move and broke right through his PGs, Paul George Nike shoes, and he sprained his knee. How y'all feel about that? Y'all think he should still play?
I think he should play.
Hell
Absolutely.
no. Why do y'all think he should play?
Well, me, because I know the NCAA is a crooked organization, I hold it over everybody's head. And I just extort them for money and tell them they need to pay my peoples in cash until I go to the league, and then that'd be whatever I need after that.
But they have no incentive to do that because he's going to the league anyway in 2 months.
Not necessarily. If he don't play, that could possibly drop his draft stock.
Nah.
He's going number one for a fact.
He played 26 games for a reason. He's number one pick right now.
Well, me personally, the reason I think that he should play is because you're gonna have in the back of NBA executives' minds, maybe not in that first contract, but that second contract, like, is he about the money or is he about the love of the game? Is he about, you know what I'm saying, winning these championships? Because I mean, you can't say that don't play a factor in their decision making as far as are you fully invested?
Did the exact same thing.
And Kyrie did it. But if he goes in there, bro, his rookie contract important. But if he dropping 20 and 10, guess what? They're not gonna give a damn if he for the money or not. They just want that 20 and 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he should play if he want to play. Honestly, I really don't care. I don't care for Duke. But, I mean, I feel like he should play if he want to play, but I would say no just because of my spitefulness against the NCAA. So I feel like he shouldn't give them any more money or exposure than they're gonna get from him. So I think for him, it really doesn't matter. I think he's still gonna go top 5 either way. Probably solid number 1, depending on. Well, I don't care who gets it. They probably will still get him number 1. So I don't think this affects his draft stock at all. So.
No, I wouldn't say it affects his draft stock, but like I said, I feel like that factor as far as his passion for the game could be, you know what I'm saying?
I think that doesn't matter in this situation because they know he's trying to get to the NBA, and he can hurt himself from getting to the NBA. NBA at the end of the day is the end goal. I don't think a decision he's making as a quote unquote non-paid, I'm pretty sure Duke probably paid him, but a non-paid athlete to get to a point where he can get paid. I don't think GMs would really factor that into that. Now, if he was a rookie and he got hurt and everybody said, like, pretty much the Kawhi situation, if that was happening for him while he was in the NBA, I can see that. But since he's in college trying to make it to the next level, I don't think that'll play a factor.
Yeah, GM, they already know what it is with that as far as if you get hurt and the consensus number 1, they know you should shut it down. They hoping he shut it down so he won't go back out and start playing in a tournament and then mess around and get hurt again and mess up even more. So I'm 100% sure they with him not playing. They might not say it publicly, but that's definitely what they're thinking.
Cal, are you saying that the NCAA would pay one of their athletes under the table?
I wouldn't say the NCAA, but I would say Duke University, man.
Oh my goodness gracious! You really believe they pay those athletes that top dollar?
Oh gosh, man, it's been things said.
Ah, true, touche. The NCAA is still trash.
Oh, they trash. I don't think if he's getting paid, it's not NCAA. It's Duke on some under the table
What about
type
them
stuff.
shoes that he had though? Them PG-13s, are they trash or what?
PG 2.5s. You never wore the 0.5s, man.
Why would you wear Paul George's, bro? Paul George is what, 6'8", 210 pounds. Zion 280. But you got to wear some shoes that's built for your body.
I don't know, man. I don't think it's that deep, but
It is, bro.
He should
The
have
type of go
worn
ahead.
LeBrons. He should have wore some LeBrons.
Yeah.
They
Really?
built for they built for a dude his size.
Nah, but LeBron shoes are made for LeBron foot, and if you ever wore a pair of them joints are mad narrow in the middle. So if Zion got a wide foot, that ain't gonna
Man,
work.
I'm almost certain that they could get him some customs because them PGs is probably custom as well.
the game itself costs $10,000 for a good seat, so they had the money to get him a person.
No, the game was free. That's what they were selling them for.
What you get
Yeah.
going with that though? All the bread they stole from these people for that game, they got enough money.
No,
to
I
get
get you, I get
you.
$1,000 shoe game, period.
Nah, that real shit. That was just a freak accident. That ain't got
Facts.
nothing to do with the shoes. It ain't got nothing because you don't see that happening very often. That was just a freak accident.
We can say shit.
Yeah, we not trying to sell ourselves no more, so we good, man.
Oh, then we good. Let's
Whoa,
go.
whoa, 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 whoa,
No,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
no,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
No, no.
This is Coach Dion.
All right, man. As long as you not
No, this is
as long as you're not regular Dion, we good.
Coach Dion.
Yeah, stay Coach Dion.
Hey, well, I mean, I could see Zion getting a Nike deal, but at the same time, man, believe it or not, it's a lot of NBA players with their own shoes. Evan Turner got his own shoe. Matthew Dellavedova got his own shoe. So at the end of the day, I wouldn't be surprised.
Here's what I see though. Just the geniuses they have at Nike, I can see them playing like, oh, the shoe broke for his signature shoe. If he gets a signature shoe coming out like year one, which a lot of people don't get really, but he's touted to be the quote unquote next LeBron. So
Yeah, his
why not?
hype is crazy.
Why not get your own shoe? But I can see them playing the fact that his shoe broke as like a part of, okay, we customize this shoe for you. This is your shoe. And like the commercial will be some funny spin on that. But at the same time, you also got to think of like where he's going to sign, because if he signs to, let's say, like Cut Sports, you already know Nike's probably going to get him. But if he signs to like Rock Nation Sports, Puma might be where he goes, because they got that influence over there with Jay-Z. But then also, Rock Nation got KD with Nike, so it's kind of like it's going to be interesting to see who he signs to. But I would say it would be like smart on Nike's side to really kind of give him a nice check and play on that, the fact that the shoe broke.
I don't think. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it can kind of be like that Bo Jackson, how Bo knows and he did every sport. It can kind of be on that type of thing where he's such a crazy freak athlete. You can kind of make that commercial in that style of thing, about, oh, he's, you throw look crazy stats like, oh, how what is it called, Sports Science. How they did the like, oh, well, when he planted this, he did this much of pounds per square inch. They can do something cool like that in that commercial to kind of show how freak of an athlete it is. So I believe people in Nike would forward think like that.
And if he go to New York, he definitely gonna get a shoe, just because of the market. If they put out a Zion Williams shoe, it's gonna sell with the best of them, just because of the hype he had at Duke.
How old is Zion?
18.
Okay, so he would be 18-year-old with his own signature shoe.
Probably 19, but I mean, Melo did it.
And LeBron.
Oh, I wasn't talking about them. I was talking about Big Baller Brand. BBB. Yeah, that way.
No. For the people who listen to us all the time, they will know that you said that technically that one is his own shoe. So let's go ahead and
But hey, but back to the topic at hand. I don't think his shoe breaking going to affect him or sway him as far as signing to Nike or not.
If he go to Rock Nation, he gonna probably sign with Puma though.
No, I'm saying as far as his shoe breaking, I don't think that's going to be like a determining factor. Well, he'd be like, oh, my shoe broke, I'm going to go somewhere else because of that specifically. I don't think that's going to play a factor at all.
It could.
I doubt it.
For the people who don't know, y'all hip them to the Rock Nation and the whole Puma thing because people will hear that and be like, where'd that come from? Because they're not necessarily hip to what's going on.
Well, Rock Nation management is ran by Sean Carter, aka Jay Z, and basically they're like a management slash sports agency. That's why he had to sell his stake in the Nets. But basically, they work as a management company and a sporting agency where they actually get you your contracts and then give you ventures outside of your actual contract, like shoe contracts and other things, like clothing, apparel, things like that. But Jay-Z also just got picked up as a high-ranking official. I don't know what the title is. I haven't seen it in a while. But a high-ranking official in Puma basketball. So pretty much, if you sign a Rock Nation, that could kind of have a little pull on you as far as on the Puma side of getting that easier.
Didn't he put his homeboy on? Or wasn't his homeboy running Puma? Like the rebrand of Puma with all the hip-hop stuff they've been trying to put out?
I'm not too sure, but I know Puma they've been doing stuff in hip hop for a while because they just rebought not rebought, but they kind of brought out like Fubu.
Yeah.
Like maybe 2 years ago, they kind of collab with Fubu. So they've been on a hip hop thing for a minute, but I'm not too sure kind of how that started up. I just remember seeing that it happened, and I remember when they first had that shoe, and then like Rudy Gay and all them, start wearing them. So.
And if you ain't never tried them Pumas on, bro, they look nice, but I can't see nobody really hooping in them Jones.
Hey man, Rudy Gay been balling in them and a couple other ballers.
But you can't go off of that because the pair he got designed for him. I'm talking about the pair you gonna pick up at Foot Locker.
Hey, shout out!
Oh yeah, you ain't gonna.
Shout out Damon John real quick. Fubu creator for us by us. It's still.
He technically said that wasn't the. He technically said that doesn't mean that, right?
Yeah, that was just a hood legacy, hood legend.
Hey, well, the legend lives on, man.
For the Hood Black History Month, like he just said, for us, by us, bump everybody else, including 45.
Hey, though, quick backstory on that though. Fubu blew up. I was watching something a couple months back. Fubu blew up after LL Cool J was in a Gap commercial with the Fubu hat. It's crazy, like the fact that and the internet won't pop it back there where you can just like. FB had LL Cool J hat on. It's like there had to be, you had to figure out what was going on with that FB. So, and of course he was wearing that like in his TV shows and all that stuff like that. But that one commercial, they said they saw like a drastic growth in Fubu after that commercial. So he low key used Gap to put his homeboys on with the Fubu.
Yeah, I was about to say. I want to say I read or saw something that he strong armed Gap because they tried to remove the commercial originally because of the hat.
Mm-hmm. When they found out. Speaking of him though, kind of staying on the same topic though, y'all heard about him and Ice Cube getting up a couple $1 billion with some investors to buy a few sports channels.
Yeah, I seen that, bro. I seen it on Twitter actually. Twitter is a live news source now. But
no, it's official. It's been everywhere other than Twitter.
Okay,
but they basically what's happening.
The president tweet from it, and they say it's official, so it's official.
Man, we ain't talking about that.
What you mean, President Obama? He don't be on Twitter like that.
Oh, he be at the UFC games though.
Hey, dude, that black bomber jacket was fire, even though it was so regular.
With the 44,
the fact that he had it on.
Yeah, the fact he had it on with the 44 on the arm, that was fire.
Subtle touch.
He probably had some Air Force Ones on too. I just can imagine.
No, I had some Monarchs on probably.
Nah, he ain't rocking no Monarchs, bro.
He had some dress shoes on. Y'all don't trip.
For real? You seen it?
Nah, I didn't, but I'm pretty sure he did.
All right.
No, but basically though, a little bit backstory on that. Basically, Disney got like a monopoly with all these channels they got, and the government is making them sell channels out. And Ice Cube and LL Cool J, they got some people kind of invested in it to buy a batch of channels, which is crazy because I think they said it included like the Yes Network. So I don't know. It's interesting. Hopefully they get it and they don't Bill Cosby them. Try to pull up their past because they own their network.
I feel like they may be behind the 8 ball with that because you have so many different streaming platforms that create their own content, and that's kind of the wave right now.
Shit, y'all better ask Bill Cosby what happened when you try to buy networks.
Yeah. And by the way, Obama wore the $95 pair of shoes to the Duke game. Apparently.
Were they Gucci's?
No, when you Google it, When you Google it, the first thing come up is Esquire article,
Okay.
What?
and it's
real
like
match
some little black some black shoe. He got on some
He got the retired dad after work shoe.
yeah. He got on the like the old blackish jeans. I don't know if they gray or they black.
They might be faded because that nigga he.
That what?
Honda. What happened?
All right, now that we get.
Oh my God.
They might be faded.
Nah, we keep it.
Yeah, that's there, boy. What you mean?
Nah, he ain't got no new jeans. Michelle washed them and said, "You better go on them wash jeans. You ain't getting nothing new."
Bro, Michelle has not washed a pair of his jeans since 2001.
If that.
Yeah, there's no way. He might have washed her jeans. Cause she really the beast of the house. Bruh, if you see Michelle's resume, Obama really shouldn't even have been president.
Go ahead, man.
For real, bruh. Look at her resume, dog.
I feel you.
I had to go look her up after they had that little movie come out talking about how they met in Chicago. It was called South Side of Chicago, I think, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually had to chase her. But when you look at her resume, like she was the lawyer first. He was really interning.
Yeah, then you hear how he got her though. He basically, she was like, she don't want to date a coworker, and he basically was like, well, I quit this law firm. There's millions of other law firms I can go work for, and he quit so they can get together.
Man.
Yeah, I don't know if that's tough. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, I wouldn't be willing to throw away my whole future for no female like that. But it worked out in his favor, so I can commend it.
Yeah. Hey man, love is love.
Ain't no Michelle's in 7'5".
So
What?
Oh man, where that come from, cuz?
back to the podcast.
Exactly.
Hey, what y'all think? What y'all think about the NBA trying to propose to lowering the draft age back to 18 from 19?
Oh, I rock with that all the way. Reason being, because you go to high school and go to hockey, they can go to baseball, they can go to soccer, they can do everything like that. But somebody that look like me and you that can shoot a basketball and they trying to make it so that they can't come in the NBA that young, they need to lower it back because it needs equality. They want to preach this equality crap, but they don't keep it.
Well, the thing with that, it's not necessarily about a black and white thing in a sense. From what I'm seeing, it's like a lot of the recruiters and things like that, like a lot of the people who deal with actually recruiting, they're saying it's very hard to recruit an 18, 19-year-old. So someone who pretty much forgoes the college experience and they're really not that great and they just try to go into the draft, it's hard for them to really try to scout them. And that's where they said a lot of that stuff was coming from, like initially when they moved it back to the one and done, because you gotta get something on your resume. They said it was very difficult to actually scout a 17, 18-year-old that wants to go into the draft. So I can see why the NBA did it, but at the same time, as a black male, I'm like, why are you restricting me? But if you ain't good enough, the NBA ain't gonna turn you around, you know?
Yeah, it should realistically. It's like it shouldn't matter if they want to go to the league. They want to attempt to go to the league. That's on them. Only thing I always say is if they don't get drafted, then they should be able to go back to college.
And that's the NCAA fault.
Yeah, they should. If nothing happen, they should lose their status. They should be able to go to college after that because they weren't drafted. If they were drafted and they get cut or anything like that, then you took that L. But realistically, how many cats have come out of high school and actually produced? So I can understand a hoop a lot.
A lot.
Sean, like that whole Sean Marion wave, like that early 2000s wave, a lot of them were straight out of high school.
A lot. No, it's been maybe what 20 maybe,
which is a lot.
Oh, it's not.
Compared to how many people in the NBA, Calvin?
Dog,
that's not a lot. That's not a lot compared to the overall.
I'll do my research and we can talk about this next episode. You try to make it like everybody come out of high school and get the key thing to this is if you come out of high school and get drafted, the NBA don't have to draft you.
Yeah, I'm talking about
the ones who were getting drafted, a lot of them were producing.
I think it should be like Q said,
but it's not enough. It's not enough of them, is what I'm saying. It's not enough to justify having an age like that. If it was 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 of them coming out of high school, then it'd be different. But it might be 20.
But that's why they need to change the rule. If guys do come to the league,
KG.
if they don't pan out, not I ain't gonna say pan out, but if they don't get drafted, or they should have a like they do with underclassmen in college. If you a junior, you can enter your name in the NBA draft portal, but as long as you don't sign an agent, you can go back to school. They should do the same thing for high school seniors. Like, hey, you can enter your name in, see what the teams think about you. If your stock high enough, make that jump. But if not, go
And
to
see, that's
college. Because a lot of go
Oh, I
ahead.
was gonna say is they put it. I don't know if anybody knows this, but they had the NCAA had put a committee together with Condoleezza Rice. She was the head of that committee, and pretty much what y'all were saying were a lot of the things that they recommended, allowing student athletes to sort of test the NBA draft, but also to retain their eligibility if they didn't sign a agent, you know what I'm saying, during that time frame. And they also recommended the student athletes to have the ability to consult agents and other professionals of that manner, just to get a better assessment of what their prospective position would be in the NBA draft or in the NBA market, period. And I mean, I feel like if those things were implemented, those would be great things, and they would kind of make a balance of allowing those guys to get a chance to go to the NBA early that really don't need to go to college, and the guys who think that they could go to the NBA early but need to stay in college, and they get that, you know, that smack in the ass when they come back and take that L, they could still, you know what I'm saying, hone their skills up, go back to school, have their eligibility, and come back better, hopefully get drafted.
And that's how it should be, just like at least how they do it in baseball and stuff. But to go back to my point, there were 45 high school kids drafted into the NBA. 45.
Hmm.
Let's say I don't know how many players are in the NBA total, but what each roster is 15 people. I think 15. And it's 30 teams. That's 450 people. So yeah, the number is very small in comparison.
But Cal, you brought up a good point as far as those who evaluate the talent struggling, trying to recruit these players, having that small body of work that they're using to truly evaluate the kids' talents. That could be kind of hard. And I mean, if you look at the draft in 2017, the first 10 guys were freshmen. So all 10 of the first guys drafted were one and dones. And I mean, I think that speaks more to those guys who are recruiting and evaluating that talent, looking at their prospectiveness and what they possibly could do and their potential more than what they have done and against better competition.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that I was seeing when I was reading the articles and stuff. They were saying the NBA kind of put that number there, like that 19, because it forces you to either sit out a year or for you to go play somewhere internationally or in college, so they can get more tape on you, so they can evaluate.
And that makes sense to me.
So I can see both sides.
I think what the biggest issue is that medium, and I think that G League, I think they're trying to find that perfect piece to be in that medium between the NBA and guys who really need to go to college basketball and guys who don't. But I mean, there's more to come on that. We'll see.
Yeah, Roy, go ahead and say something about the JBL, man. Was it JBL or J? Because I saw his mic go unmuted. I know he about to say something about Big Baller Brand. Go ahead.
Well, since you mentioned it, I wasn't gonna bring it up.
Yes, you would.
But you know that the JBL was a good look. The only problem is, just like all big businesses we always talk about, when you fight the corporation, they try to find ways to undermine you. So as soon as the JBL came out with the idea, the NBA D League, they said, "Hey, we'll pay high school guys $10,000." Bam, JBL done for, because those guys that would have went to the JBL end up going to the NBA D League.
JBA, my bad.
JBA, yeah, Junior Ball Association.
This guy.
Oh, my bad. You know, I'm Big Baller Brand friendly, baby. Can't trust their shoes though, because Zoe sprained his ankle like every week. Yeah. But I support the idea of what he's doing.
I was about to say that I respect LeVar and his idea. Execution, but you know what I'm saying? At the same time, that's why I respect it, because I'm sure it's guys who have had somewhat of an idea like this, but he's actually put a lot of things into play and took action on his idea. And you got to respect a guy like that. Shout out black businesses.
Hey, but the thing with LeVar, bro, he hasn't spent probably maybe $100,000 in true marketing money. But his company's a global company now because of his outlandish comments.
Just run his mouth.
He used social media, Facebook, and run his mouth. And guess what? We booming. We helping his brand grow.
Hey man, you a master at marketing, bro. You should know yourself that him running his mouth that way is a form of marketing in itself.
Oh, it's a genius. And the thing is, because he's a black man and he's talking all crazy, it gets frowned upon. But it was a time where Phillip Rivers and Eli Archie Manning and them, when they came out of the draft, they both said where they weren't going to play. Archie Manning did it like they told the Chargers, hey, Eli ain't playing here. Hell, John Elway did it before he got traded. So it's not like it hasn't been done before, but it's just who's doing it and how he's doing it. Now it looks bad. He's a bad parent. But nobody told Archie Manning he was wrong for telling Eli he won't play with the Chargers, so they had to trade him to the Giants.
Hey, but let's be real though. The people who were saying he was a bad parent were people of, less melanin in their skin.
Hey, it's people who look like Robert Kraft.
Hey, chill, y'all let Robert be, man. He tried to pay for the rubbing tub.
Bob got caught up.
So if y'all don't know what's going on or what they're talking about, Patriots owner Robert Kraft has been pulled in with a prostitution ring for soliciting prostitutes in Florida with a few people. They're saying that human trafficking is part of it also. But what I find interesting about it, they said there's a bigger name involved. I'm hoping it's Tom Brady. But
no, Tom faithful, bro. Tom going home to Giselle.
You talking about that man who had a baby with another woman, but anyway,
that was before I thought.
No, anyway, but yeah, it's crazy though. So at the end of the day, we already had this conversation. Why is prostitution technically illegal? Like, what is it because they can't tax it? Like, what's going on?
Nah, it wasn't the prostitution sting. The problem was, I did some research on it. It's the human trafficking side of the thing.
Yeah.
The spot that he got caught up in was being investigated for human trafficking. And if you know, human trafficking is a big no to the government. It's just bad in general. Should nobody be sold into that type of thing. But Robert Kraft, he ain't do nothing wrong, man. He went up in there, regular day. And he wanted to see what it was like to be a broke person. Because he worth a couple billion. There's no reason he couldn't have just flew one of them out.
He could have just walked
all
out,
these chicks on IG trying to get flued out. You already know Kraft could have got right.
Bro, $79 though.
79. Hey, it be the rich people that try to save though.
Hey, that is right. That is very true.
Cause look, hey, you got all these black folk in the strip club throwing 100 racks. Robert Kraft said, "I'm gonna go get it for 59, baby."
Heard he got the threesome at that. Damn.
Hey, why that joke? It said it lasted 14 minutes though. Took him 6 to change his clothes. I said, "Hey, that's wild, boy. That's a hell of an investment."
Oh man, but yo, Dion, how you feel about that? You been mad quiet, man.
First off, the brother like what, 77 years old?
Yeah.
That man croak in peace. They could. He's straight. In my opinion, he won't. He ain't take nothing from the girl. She willingly gave it to him.
Nah, that's the difference. They said that the chicks that he was messing with, they weren't doing the voluntarily.
Well, he don't know that. All he did was pay the head person. The head person sent them in. That ain't got nothing.
Yeah, but still, it still look bad.
But I don't think he paid for that, man. I feel like Robert Kraft went in there and paid for a massage, and he got tricked.
No, they said he was going there all the time.
Oh, he a regular. Never mind. Can't save him on that one.
Whole time, he probably the brains behind the whole operation.
That would not shock me. That would not shock me.
Totally.
That would definitely shock me. Network, it wouldn't. That good old boy network different now.
Yeah. He cool with 45 too.
We ain't gonna talk about that though. We don't want to get kicked off the air.
No, not at all. We need our sponsors. Yeah. Shout out to Black Tux.
Yeah, we gotta let that vibe.
Well, now that you mention it, man, how he own, bruh. If you look at the backstory on how Robert Kraft got ownership of the Patriots, bruh, it was on some old slick back, BS. That's all I could say. You gotta check it out.
I'm gonna
from.
need you to give us a segment next week on this.
Hey, I could definitely give you a segment. I mean, matter of fact,
We
it's
we
pretty
Patriot bash on this show.
it's pretty short, so I'll break it down right now. So basically, in '85, he got a 10-year option on the Raceway, which was a horse track adjacent to Foxborough Stadium. So basically, with him purchasing this racetrack, there was a contract, and in the contract with the stadium owner at the time couldn't hold any events that were non-Patriot events while there was races being held at the racetrack. So the owner had an issue with this, obviously, and they went back and forth. So basically, that owner of the stadium ended up running into financial issues, right? The owner had purchased the stadium in '88, and
Dang, man, stop scrolling Instagram. Get to the
what?
That nigga sound like he reading church announcements.
something.
Well, you know, baby, after first service, everybody can come to the.
Hey, go ahead, SP. Go
All right,
ahead.
basically,
In 88, in 80, shut up. Yeah.
It's over. You lost it, SP. It's
No, you
over.
didn't. You
I
said-
did lose it. I did
All right.
lose it.
No, you didn't. I'm
So
getting
long story short, he tried to buy the stadium that way. Couldn't do it. He got outbid by somebody else, but he bought the lease to the stadium.
Mm.
And the guy that bought the stadium ended up owning the team. So when the guy owned the team still had a lease with the stadium that Robert Kraft owned. The team tried to get out of the lease. Robert Kraft wouldn't allow the guy to get out of the lease because the guy who owned the team was trying to move him to Jacksonville. Once he couldn't get out of the lease, that guy ran into financial issues and he tried to buy out the lease from Robert Kraft. Wouldn't let him do it. So Robert Kraft offered him $75 million to buy the team out. The guy accepted the offer. So he ended up owning the team. So he went from owning the racetrack next door out of a stipulation in that deal, ended up owning the lease to the stadium. The guy who owned the team was stuck in that lease, couldn't get out the lease. He ended up buying the team from that guy and owned the Patriots from '94 and there on out. And the Patriots have sold out all of their home games since '94 to this day.
Hey, it sound like Buddy from McDonald's
Hey,
that
SP, you
stole
said he bought it
McDonald's
for
from the
I'm
brother.
$75
saying, it's just, he got it real slick.
and they worth $3.8 billion right now,
Yeah.
bro. That's crazy.
Ooh, bankroll after bankroll.
Strong investment.
I
Yeah.
guess we need to figure something
We
out
ain't got
as
that.
a group.
We ain't got that type of money, bro.
Nah, we can't buy nothing like that, brother.
We ain't gotta get
If Kyle invests most of it, we got a
Man,
chance
chill
though.
out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
All right.
he can hold it. He's 75%. We'd be all right.
Yeah. We'll figure out the rest.
Not at all. But from one nasty old Robert to the next nasty old Robert,
Chain gang.
we got Robert Kelly, the Aura, as your auntie may call him. They finally got him. They finally got him.
Hey, no R. Kelly slander, fellas, please.
Hey, it's that Stormy Daniels lawyer, bro. That's who got him. He out to get somebody, bro.
He trying to get a check, man. He just said, "I'm gonna sue everybody that got a case against him."
But yeah, they got him.
Realistically, on that R. Kelly stuff, he can go to jail if everything they say he did. Fine, go to jail. You ride in jail. Your music catalog is still out, and that's all I personally care about.
Yeah, no, they gotta shoot the man. Like he got to get the death penalty. R. Kelly's sick as hell, bro. He's sick.
He's not gonna get the death penalty, but
Yeah, he's definitely not getting the death penalty.
Yeah, he do.
Yeah.
He needs some, but not just him though.
That's not gonna
Everybody
happen.
that
Oh
was
yeah,
part-
because you know it was a deep circle of people that was involved in all this.
This thing is, yeah, it's bigger than R. Kelly. It's way bigger because if he got, first off, the man just got out on bail and went to the same McDonald's and was.
Hey man, he posted bail with a Gucci coat on too.
The same McDonald's the same day he got out.
Hey, he ain't posted that bill.
I would say one of his fans posted that jump.
Every parent, every cop that knew, everybody that knew that was in that circle what was going on
Hey, but I'm convinced he not that broke.
Penalty he get.
He probably, whoever in his circle probably smart enough, he didn't gave his money to people because that way you can't sue him if he can't afford it. Because there's no way he ran through all that money he had made in 30 years of touring, bro. It's no way.
It ain't about suing now. It's about
No, but I'm talking about them saying he was too broke to afford $100,000 bond.
Hey,
though.
but no, he's
Yeah, that's what I'm
They say
saying. He
got
probably
back
putting
child
his money
support, too.
somewhere else so the feds can't
well,
get it.
that.
If it ain't in your name, they
Hey,
can't
bro, you
take it.
giving him too much credit. The man's illiterate, man.
I said somebody in his circle. I know he ain't do it. He dumber than Floyd Mayweather.
You got to get same goes right on that. But no, they said they got him on 10 more charges. He pled not guilty on that. So, yeah.
After they saw
Hey,
the
I seen an
video,
article that said they might charge the
video.
dad too that released the video because he held on to it for so long.
I ain't gonna lie.
Man, I would charge everybody. That means a dad. First off, as a dad, R. Kelly wouldn't even make trial. I would be facing a murder trial right now. You got me bent. Ain't nothing about to happen to my daughter, and you think I'm gonna let it happen, and he gonna live to see the next day? You smoking dope.
You know the crazy part is about all this?
He would have been dead.
I wouldn't be surprised if he got off again.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
It would not. It would not shock me not one bit if he got off from this because he got off from the first situation and they had video evidence of this guy.
That wasn't him. That was his brother, and the P was fake. That's how they got off. They used Little Man as a reference. That's crazy.
I would not be surprised if they were able to flip this and he got off on this too.
Hey, but as long as we not throwing his music catalog away,
I can separate the music from the person.
Yeah, he's a terrible person, but hell of an artist.
Yeah, that just is what it is.
Yeah.
Man, SP sent me some stuff about R. Kelly. He is traumatized.
Ain't no excuses, man.
Know about him getting.
Hey,
no excuses.
But from one traumatized little kid to a potentially traumatized older young man, what y'all think about
Jussie?
Empire's own Jamal is what I call him because that's what his name is.
There's something wrong with the water up in Chicago, bro.
I ain't never. Me either, Dion. I ain't never watched 1 second of that dang gonna show.
Y'all ain't watch Empire?
For what?
Nah, well, actually, I have, but that's just weak.
I just started watching Power last
all
season.
day, bro.
Hey, SP, I'm gonna tell you like I tell everybody else. If you switched and put Empire on on like Fox, not Fox, but a premium
channel.
Yeah, and you put Power on regular TV, it'd be swapped. They're the same show. One can just show cussing and sex, and one can't. It's the same type of show. Bro,
No, bro. The actual acting, bro. The acting in Power is significantly
if you took all the
better.
If you took all the cussing,
Empire,
if you took the cussing, the killing, and the sex out of Power,
crazy, bro.
Power would still be a good show, but it wouldn't. You had it like it's just a mile and a half better than Empire.
I ain't never seen the episode of Empire, but you said the acting on Power. First off, Angela Valdez cannot act, in my opinion. She's probably arguably.
But yeah,
she can't act, but she can act out some scenes.
Well, yeah,
church,
right? maybe I wasn't looking for the right thing.
They're not the same show, but they're in that same boat as far as what they are, how they are. It's just one's on cable TV and one's not, so they got different lanes of stuff they can do. But if you swap them, it'd be the other way around.
I really don't feel like that, bro. Like every time I watched the Empire, it just felt like I was watching something
because of
lesser quality.
Because won't nobody get killed
that's
and
the
won't
way
no
titties. That's the only way I can describe it.
And what? That's why.
No,
I feel like even the storyline in Power.
I like Power's storyline, but
Powerline.
different type of show.
Because Power you can follow it a lot better as opposed to Empire. It's like it's
all right, man.
It's
all for the
over
comparing.
The
yeah.
Yeah, the Shy is definitely a dope show. But outside of comparing the shows, and we talking about Chicago still, But he's finally got caught. They finally got him. He got charged. He faces 1 to 3 years for obstruction of justice and filing a false police report.
So
And
has this been proven factual yet? Or
well,
is
this is what he's
just my bad, go ahead.
this is what he's being charged for. This is what the grand jury is accusing him of. He actually they're starting to release pictures of that letter. That letter was terrible. Like a third grader wrote the letter. Yeah, the letter that he sent to himself allegedly. Terrible handwriting. Like a third grader did it with some red marker, cut out some stuff. All the evidence they found with the Nigerian brothers at their crib with the bleach and all that. They actually got film of them in the beauty salon store, buying the mask and all that. They got the picture of the check that he gave to one of the dudes for personal training. They got the text messages. So they got a lot of information, but nothing is officially, came out because they gave it to a grand jury instead of having the police do it, because the whole scrutiny of the Chicago PD, everybody says that they're racist and all that. So they put it over to a grand jury and let them, put all the information out, presented it to them. So
yeah, I ain't gonna make no judgments on this, because first time we made a judgment, we was wrong. So I'm gonna.
Who is we and what are you talking about?
Anyway, I'm gonna just let this rock out.
No, seriously, who is we and
me, nigga, me. God damn.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's better. Yeah, say you. Don't say we. Say
don't
you.
Put me under something. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. So aggressive.
Anyway,
I always thought it was guilty.
I'm gonna wait until we play this out and see what happens officially in the end.
Oh, also, and the bruises were said to be self-inflicted. Even the police department said that his story didn't make sense. So it's a whole bunch of holes in the story.
Here's why it didn't make sense to me. It was an article I was reading, and one quote from the article was like, the ER in Chicago is like a medic tent in a war zone. So you mean to tell me this man is just walking in the middle of the night and ain't nobody else see him, or he have no worse injuries than that? He bugging. He in Chicago. He should have got the brakes worse beat off him than what he self-inflicted. So if anything happens bad to him, I think they need to throw the book at his ass, because one, that's just wasting a whole lot of time that people ain't got to worry about. Shit is stupid.
I don't think he really faked it, bro. Because they showed the check.
Dog.
The check really say personal training, and they got text messages to prove it.
Rory.
But what's up?
I can write a check to you and say you're my personal trainer. You can do that.
You
can
right,
write a
but
check to me
this
and
the
say
same.
You're my personal trainer.
This the same Chicago Police Department that couldn't figure out what happened to old girl body in the freezer.
Did they not figure it out, or did they not want to figure it out? Big
they just didn't. So that's what I'm saying. It's easy to manipulate a story for ratings. 100%.
I think he did it.
I don't think bro did it. I mean, but if he did, he need to go to jail.
Light-skinned brethren.
I'm with that. If he did it, go to jail. But at the same token, I need them to have that same energy for all these Caucasian females that are claiming rape on these African American brothers, and that's not the case. So I need them to hold that same energy for them.
Hey, you stay away from him, you won't get charged.
Let's not even go.
SP, you heard that? Stay away.
Let's not even go as far as saying the ones. Let's not even go as far as the ones claiming rape. Let's go at the ones that's calling the cops on niggas for having barbecues or something petty like that. Those are the ones that need to be just charged just like him. The rape facts. Like, I mean,
hey, you colors having barbecues is dangerous though.
In whose mind? If us in this podcast right now have a barbecue, ain't nothing bad gonna happen whatsoever. But people will look at us.
I ain't coming.
I don't want you to come either, because I want some food for the rest of us, fat boy.
That was your best joke. Y'all drop Kawhi for me real quick.
I run this show, so.
Damn, you run this show. That's crazy. Y'all heard that?
Hey, just make sure you give me.
Hey, y'all heard
make sure
that.
Make sure you write me my personal check for producing the show. Since we can just write checks freely, and I'll make sure my texts are there.
That's the case. I don't want you to come at all.
But can't nobody afford your fee.
Oh, what you saying, Dion?
I forgot now because I started laughing.
All right, but since we was comparing like Power and Empire, which I've never watched seconds of any of those shows, what's y'all favorite? If y'all could put like a top 5 favorite Black shows, it could be sitcom, it can be cartoon, just anything created for Black people. What would y'all top 5 be? If y'all do y'all have one?
Easy.
Hey, I'm gonna go.
Just anything. Like your top 5.
I'm gonna go first because I'm about to leave in a second.
One.
I gotta not in any particular order, but Martin, Fresh Prince, Bernie Mac Show, Boondocks, and I say Good Times.
Oh, I'm with that.
Okay, I'll go next. I got Martin, Jamie Foxx, Wayans Brothers, Good Times, and Bernie Mac.
Hey, I got no. Go ahead.
SP.
I got Martin, Fresh Prince, Blackish, Dave Chappelle Show, and Roots.
Does Roots technically count as a show? It was a miniseries. It was a documentary.
Nah, that's a series.
That was like a
whole
documentary
series.
though.
Damn near a movie.
It was
a show.
It was a docuseries.
Nonetheless, it's still. Nonetheless,
It was a show to me.
So go ahead, Roy.
Shoot, for me, I like the Proud Family, Blackish, Fresh Prince, Jamie Foxx Show, and The Game. And Bill Cosby.
Are we
Show,
talking Game pre-BET or post-BET?
Pre-BET. Once BET ruined it.
You got to put that. You got to put that disclaimer in there.
Yeah.
All right, my top
Facts.
5: Sanford and Son, Martin, Jamie Foxx, Bernie Mac, and y'all ain't gonna remember this, but That's My Mama in 227.
Hold on, was that 6?
That was 6, but That's My Mama in 227 tied for 5.
All right.
Hey, I like the Steve Harvey show too. I forgot to put that.
I remember 227.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember That's My Mama in 227. But it was hard for me to narrow it down to 5. But I went to the 5 that at any point I'll watch any episode that's on.
Yeah.
Because Family Matters too.
Yeah.
See, Family Matters and Fresh Prince, they got some weak episodes. Like I'll just turn.
Yeah.
Like,
Fresh
but
Prince was weak to me in general.
To me, it's not something that I'll sit down and just watch to be entertained. I'll put it on the background. That's about it.
I wouldn't even do that.
What about the Cosby Show?
I never really watched the Cosby Show. It was boring to me.
I ain't like the Cosby Show. I ain't like the one when they went to college. What's the jump?
A Different World. Different World was dope.
Different World was hot
dope.
now. You gotta watch it on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've never watched A Different World.
Hey, go watch A Different World and then think about your time at college.
What about Living Single? Yeah, I can't relate to what you just said.
Sorry, PWI schools, my bad. But
I rock with Living Single way more than I rock with the Cosby Show, Family Matters, or even Fresh Prince.
Yo, Living Single. I was when I was looking at shows, and it never really hit me. Living Single was actually the black version of Friends.
Yep.
But they literally took the premise of Living Single and made it Friends, and then once white people kind of get involved, the whole thing.
Took the premise. Y'all heard that?
The premise of Living Single and made it Friends, which is crazy. But also another show that I was thinking about like 101. That was a show that was good when it was coming up. Like 101, I was there. Yeah, the Parkers, like that whole UPN run with Moesha. Shoot, even Girlfriends, even though that one intended for our age range.
Sister, Smart Guy, all of that.
Yeah.
UPN was 5.
Yeah, but we had to put it down to 5. So as with the 5, I know I can just sit down and watch.
That's a good topic to close out Black History Month. The top black shows in general. That's not like today where we got all the BS, all the reality shows that ain't uplifting black people. Every black show, even if we didn't like it back then, was uplifting to a black person in some way where we could possibly relate to.
Yeah.
Facts.
Even Fresh Prince when Will got shot.
Yeah.
There was a lot of Fresh Prince episodes. You just didn't watch them because you don't like the show.
I watched
Who, me?
every
You
episode.
talking to me?
I know the words.
Yes.
Oh no, I know every episode, but I just don't. It's not a show that I would just sit there and just watch for fun. Like if you come in my room and you see me watching that, it's probably because I'm doing something else.
Yeah, teachers on.
But the Wayans brothers, though.
Fair enough.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that show's classic to me, man. Some people.
Then, every other line was a joke about some other thing, like us right now. How we pinpoint something that's going on in society or in the social media aspect. The Wayans brothers would pull that out and make a running joke of it for the entire show.
Let alone all the improv they was doing.
Yeah, most of that show was improv. They came out and said most of it. Like they were saying, like they had writers at first. Like Sean Amon was big with the writing part of it, But then the WB hired some writers, and they're like, nah, man, it's not funny. So what they'll do is they'll pretty much they'll go with a premise of what they're gonna do for that episode. They'll have a couple lines that they know they got to hit, and then everything else is like improv. So when you go back and look at it and watch it,
Yeah.
you'll see a lot of times when somebody's so weak, like the camera got to cut to another camera just because like Sean and Marlon so weak or Pops are so weak.
Hey, and I gotta mention, bro, that's probably one of the most underrated black families in our society, brother. Wayans brothers, because My Wife and Kids was a damn
it was.
good
I
show.
forgot about that. That was a good show.
That's facts.
Nah, the Wayans brothers, the true definition of putting the whole family on.
I don't think they underrated. I don't think they. Do you say underrated or underappreciated? Which word did you use? Because I wanted to use the opposite one.
I did say underrated, but I could definitely feel underappreciated a lot more.
You got A Living Color, you got Low Down Dirty Shame, you got all the movies they made, you got the shows. I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. Yeah, it's a lot of it's a lot of stuff that the Wayans put out there that for our age range it was like a little bit too early for us. Like we didn't really. It wasn't meant for us. It was meant for more so like our parents or maybe like if we got older siblings for them. So going back looking at it, it's like, oh, this was funny, that was funny. But at the same time, you got to think about black TV and black movies back then. It wasn't a lot of like publicity behind it. So it wasn't a lot of like media covering, okay, like, oh, the Wayans did this, the Wayans did that. So they'll put a movie out. Movie won't really make any money or anything like that. But when you go back and watch it, it's like a classic to you. So yeah, like if you go back and just look at the Wayans brothers as a family, or the Wayans family, even Kim, just the whole family, what they were in, what they were doing, they had a very big impact in Black Hollywood.
Hey, let me interrupt real quick. I love you guys, but I'm about to be out. Got to go back to work.
You done for the day?
Yeah, unless y'all still on an hour, which I'm pretty sure y'all not gonna be. So yeah.
Oh no, we're not.
Yeah. So I'm out. I'll let y'all boys later. Y'all continue to make an amazing podcast.
All right, fellas. I said,
bro.
all right, homie.
just go to work, bro. Bye, man. Bye.
Say the world.
Craig.
Hey, man. Weddings should be memorable, but not for the groom's lack of style. That's why our friends at the Black Tux design rental suits and tuxedos that you'll love wearing at your wedding. So if you end up getting featured on a list of 23 epic wedding fails because you hit the cake during the electric slide, or that one uncle wants to get the first dance with your wife, at least you know you'll look good for your close-up. I've been in a wedding myself, and it is a hassle going back and forth to get the suit fitted, and it doesn't even turn out right. But the best part about the Black Tux is that they have an easy online ordering process that brings a suit or the tuxedo straight to you. Just pick a style at thebblacktux.com and request a free home try-on so you can feel the fit and the quality before you commit. And if online isn't your style, they have showrooms all over the country where you can find your fit and plan your look. From there, they'll ship your order 2 weeks before your wedding so you can check out the fit for one last time. Now that's what we talk about when we talk about commitment. Over 5,000 5-star reviews across the Wedding Wire, The Knot, and their own website agree. You won't find a better rental experience or designs like the ones you'll find at the Black Tux. Grooms, if you want your wedding to be remembered for the right reasons, visit thebblacktux.com/listen. That's thebblacktux.com/listen for $20 off your purchase. Walk, don't run to thebblacktux.com/listen to find a look for you and your crew. Formal wear for the moment. All right, thank you to Black Tux for sponsoring us once again. So we want to go ahead and talk about the Oscars. We had a couple years ago. What was it, a couple years ago when they had the hashtag Oscars so white, because all the white movies was winning and everything. So we finally got a little bit of culture in it this time. The main ones that we got here, Black Panther, Regina King, and Spike Lee. Spike Lee actually won his first non-honorary Oscar. So he's done a lot of, as we was talking about earlier, a lot of classic movies, but never really got that respect from the Oscars. So we can start off with Spike Lee. How do y'all feel about Spike Lee winning his first Oscar?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Not just that he won his Oscars, but did y'all watch the clip of when he got announced? The way his actual friend Samuel Jackson announced him, that's the joy that I felt or that I feel when I converse with y'all guys, or when I get to the point where I tell everybody you guys are my closest friends. When the excitement that he's seen that his best friend or one of his best friends won an Oscar, and he forget everything else, forget my composure. He ran on stage and he jumped into his arms. you can't change or take that moment away. Like that's one of the best things that I've ever seen, far as black men being on the biggest stage in front of all the white people, and they really couldn't do nothing about it.
That's real. Hey, that's real, Dion. They couldn't, bro. They've been hating on Spike for so long, bro. He all the works he didn't deserve the Oscar since Do the Right Thing.
Yeah. And that's part of my biggest frustration with, like, just as a whole, like, us as a culture. When I say culture, I don't just mean like hip hop, or I'm talking about the African American culture. I'm talking about black people with these Oscars, Grammys, all those things. It's like, of course, you want to be accepted by your peers that do the same thing you do. You want to get honors and things like that. But I feel like a lot of times we put too much stock in it, right? So with Spike Lee never winning one, but he's still putting out quality work. He wanted one so bad, but it's like, at the end of the day, you want that validation from your peers, but we still rock with you, you know. But at the end of the day, still want that validation. Same with the Grammys. People want to get that validation from a Grammy, but you're putting out great works.
But
Like, it's like that doesn't make your art any better, in my opinion. Like, just because you win a Grammy doesn't make your movie better. Your movie can still be trash. Like, all those movies that actually win Grammys, most of us never seen them or heard about them.
But I think it's like, it's kind of, from a sports term, it's the Super Bowl of his profession. So you chasing it. It's just like a state championship for a kid in high school. You chasing it, but what you working for? You know you gonna get paid for the production. It's gonna sell plenty of copies. But to be considered the best in your business by everybody, like I used to like the BET Awards and the hip hop awards. It's great to be the best, best in our culture, but to be the best in the world per se, that's what you're looking for. You reaching for that. You desire
those
that.
people don't, man. The thing is, like, when you want to talk about, like, to go to the reference that you said about BET Awards, MTV Awards, and all that stuff, I just don't feel like the validation from the Grammys, like, the Grammys get it wrong half the time. Like, nominations, there's no reason why Cardi B should have hip hop, a rap album of the year. No reason.
What you mean?
Rap album, rap.
What you mean?
Rap album, rap album.
You know why she does?
No. But let's talk about it though. Before you even go to that, let's get the definition of rap album of the year versus album of the year. Big difference.
And I get what you're saying, but you got to remember, the school that I coach at, a majority of the kids don't come from Hampton High, Bethel High, so they don't look like what we look like. However, I walk in that school, everybody else that looks opposite of us is rapping Cardi B, whether they think it's a rap album or not. So in their eyes, because it's not their genre of music, they're going to automatically toss that in the rap pile, and that's a rap album.
But once again, that's the thing I'm talking about. We don't need their validation for our stuff. So you're trying to tell me that Cardi B's album was a rap album that deserves over Victory Lap, over Daytona? Like, I thought, like, it was going to be one of those shams where Mac Miller won just because he passed.
As in Nipsey Hussle?
Like,
yes,
Nipsey Hussle. She won over Nipsey Hussle.
Man, hey,
I've never heard Victory Lap, so
it's it's a rap album. Yo,
last time that I checked, what, you ain't never heard Nipsey? Dedication? You bugging.
Right.
But no, that's what I'm saying. Like, my biggest thing was, like, when you try to say, like, the validation, and you try to talk about, oh, well, the people that aren't, I'm talking about for the people that's actually in our culture, and it's like we're seeking validation for, like, from white people. Like, at the end of the day, the people who are in the Grammys, even though they try to include black people on it, they still get it wrong a lot of times. Like, it is no way, when you talk about rap, now, if Cardi B won album of the year, I wouldn't even care. But when you want to talk about rapping, Push was rapping, Nipsey was rapping. Cardi is not making, that's a pop album, man. Even though she's rapping on it. Was Drake even nominated? I don't think Drake was nominated for album of the year. But either way, I would take him winning. Okay. I would take him winning over Cardi B winning, because he's actually rapping on half of the album. You know what I mean?
Drake over Cardi?
Yeah, because Drake actually makes rap music. As much as I talk trash about him, he actually makes a lot of rap music. But then he goes really pop a lot of times too. So.
And he re-released a mixtape that went top 10 on the charts too.
You want to know the real reason why Cardi won that rap album of the year? Did y'all see that video that she was featured in with City Girls? That's why she won it. That's what won it.
That would be the if that was the reason, she would definitely not won that. But
back kind of back on what you were talking about.
I'm talking about from the voters,
Rory, or not even what Rory was talking about, but I would say a better analogy as far as Spike Lee and wanting that validation. It's almost kind of like getting selected as an All Pro versus being in the Pro Bowl. I mean, you in the Pro Bowl, you obviously still a good player. You got the fans voting for you. The fans being us, our culture. You know what I'm saying? Supporting Spike, seeing the works that he's putting out, seeing the great content that he's putting out there. However, I mean, all pro is a lot different than being a Pro Bowler. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that was what he was missing.
Yeah, he even went through years of just being frustrated and not saying he doesn't care about the Oscars. But at the same time, you're gonna accept the award. Like once they give you that award, you're gonna accept it. But my thing is my biggest thing is like when it comes to the awards, I get so mad when like if somebody don't get it right, you get mad. But when you win, like you're happy. It's like the best thing in the world. It's like, yo, you don't need that validation from people who aren't your peers. Like I feel like even though people don't see it this way, like a BET award, you should hold that in the same ilk that you hold any other award, because at the same time it's an award that you got for your craft. But just because like the Grammy committee said, okay, now I'm nominated, it's great to be nominated. Nah, you didn't win. Like come on, like I don't want to get on my high horse on this one. I don't want to get upset. But
Man, that's why we got the podcast.
You don't want to get on it?
That's why we got the
I mean,
podcast. Get on that.
no, because I can get way worse than what I am. My battery's about to die.
Then do it.
Hey, can we give Regina King some shout out real quick though? Because that movie was fire. If Bill Street could talk, it's a boring movie. I will say this if you haven't seen it, but if you pay attention and actually listen to the message in it, it's really a Bill Street in every city and every community in America.
The hell is a Bill Street?
He ain't seen the movie.
I can't. You gotta.
Obviously.
Yeah, you saw it, Dion?
I saw bits and pieces of it. I kind of dozed in and out when Ebony was trying to make me watch it.
I got you, but nah. So it's kind of SP. It's like it's showing the black family in a community. But one of the characters, if they haven't seen it, he got caught up and got accused of raping a chick. End up going to jail for it, serving like 3 years, but he didn't do it. So it shows his story, but it also shows the daughter's story. And Regina King played the girl's mom. But it just shows you a black family in New York, in Harlem, I think it was in the 70s or 80s, probably 70s it looked like.
Crack era.
But it shows how you could just be, in the wrong place at the wrong time, and then all of a sudden you just messed up. But there's nothing you can do to control the situation. So now you kind of got to like persevere and fight through everything that you had facing that adversity.
Well, she finally got that nod. And also Black Panther. They got 3 of them. Original music score, best costume design, and best production design. So,
shout out to the old lady that did the costumes. She from the illustrious, the real HU.
We only gonna shout that out because that's the crib. But
first one to win that award too, black woman.
Yeah, I shout that all day long.
Black Panther should have won every award they had in the Oscars.
No, you're not gonna really get no superhero movie, no best picture.
Crazy. They had all the other white superhero movies nominated for everything.
Dion,
it's the Oscars.
So they should have came close. At least I'm glad they won.
Nah.
The 3 was probably the best they was gonna do. They got what they was gonna do.
And then they got I can't think of his name. Old boy that like Future. He won from
Green Book.
He won too. Can't think of his name.
He was a college basketball player. He played at St. Mary's.
No, I don't even know what St. Mary's at, man.
It's a D1 school, but his numbers were terrible. His career average was like 7 points or 3 points. But his senior year,
you a D1 athlete, you a D1 athlete. Can't nobody take that from you.
Yeah. Nah, it's buddy. I can't. It's some Malaya, something like that. It's some Marlala Eli, some shit like that.
3 points.
Hey,
nah, but
why? Hey, but why we talking about it though? When they announced that what's the green something? Green Book. When that John won, Spike Lee was trying to lead he was trying to lead the Grammys. I mean the Oscars. He was trying to literally walk out. They had to stop him. So because he didn't want.
Hey, I like what he said though. When they asked him about why he walked out, he said, "I thought I was watching the NBA. It was a bad call."
Exactly. So once again though, it goes back to his really like, y'all ain't getting it right all the time. So I mean, he got his,
Time.
Hey, check this though. He gonna say every time someone's driving someone, I lose though.
What?
Yeah.
Because all right, so basically with that quote, he said every time someone's driving someone, I lose. When he was supposed to win for do the right thing, he got beat out by driving Miss Daisy.
Ah,
And then when he got beat out, or basically with Black Klansman, he got beat out by Green Book,
okay.
which somebody was getting driven in that movie. Yeah.
He driving them. Yeah, on the cover,
Hey
he
yo,
definitely
time out.
driving
Did
them.
y'all hear Spike Lee also say
That's
in his
crazy.
speech? I know Cal, you don't do this, you don't vote, but did y'all hear him talk about
Hold on. You said I don't vote. What is this? Where is this information coming from? I got
You called him a
like,
Republican? That's
yo,
crazy.
I got several stickers in here. Just because I don't post it, don't mean I don't vote. Like, what you
Count
mean?
if you don't post it, but look,
It don't count if you don't post it.
Well, in that case, I don't vote.
Calculated
But I'm not
the
gonna post
quarters, like the state quarters.
Let me go back to it. Then.
Exactly.
Let me go back to it, though. Spike Lee was like in his statement, he was basically saying, "Let's go out to the polls and vote for 2020. Let's work for a better history and change history," or however he worded it. Did y'all see y'all man, Mr. Number 45, came back and called Spike Lee a racist, and he made racist comments at the Oscars, though?
Yeah, I did see. I saw that.
I heard about it,
The
but I ain't
tweet.
seen it.
Are we surprised?
Well,
No.
his time is almost.
Nah, it's not. Unfortunately,
No.
I mean,
Nah, he about to
he
he gonna
definitely
re-win
gonna
this
get
election.
this
Y'all know
re-election
that,
while
right?
y'all bull jabbing.
hey,
There's way too many Democrats in the running
y'all already
that they're gonna spread the votes up. All he gonna have to do is not get caught up in his taxes.
y'all already know what I need. I don't care who wins, long as my favorite thing ain't taken away from me.
He says, "As long as my
Yeah,
favorite
I
thing."
said, don't take his right to
I'm-
bear arms.
There we go. Don't take my right to bear arms. I'm good.
Dion, you good? They're not gonna come to your house and take your weapons, man.
They might. You don't know.
Man, they're not coming to nobody's house taking
Man,
no weapons.
this man signed a state of emergency to build a damn wall. You don't think he could sign something to come take some damn guns?
Dog.
This is true.
Yeah, man, ain't nobody coming to nobody
What's
else.
my
Man,
Illuminati
anybody-
conspiracy theorists? What do they call it? They got a term for this this time of our life when the federal government basically just take control and
Oh yeah, I forgot what it's called. I know I'm hip to it. I'm hip to that. What they say. But basically they clowning everything that we going through right now. In a nutshell.
Hey, man, he don't know my safe code, so I'm good.
Shit, you probably got the big guns in that
Nah,
bit.
not me. They somewhere in the crib, but they ain't mine.
Yeah.
He not here to he not here to defend himself though. But
Yeah, we're gonna vibe. We're gonna leave that alone.
I mean, the big guns is what's gonna keep us safe.
Hey, you still gotta have ammo.
If you ain't got none, you better get some.
hey, you can make ammo while you bull jabbing.
Where's Sap at?
You're gonna infuse that junk with some biochemical weapons. All right, we about to
He the
we
only
about to
one.
get in trouble.
Yeah, chill. Cut a commercial.
And we'll be right back.
Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When we were trying to get Counsel on the Clutch off the ground, we had a lot of questions. How do we record an episode? How do we get our show into all the apps people like to listen? How do we monetize the podcast business? The one place for all of those needs was Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. Having the ability to distribute our podcast to various channels is clutch, and padding my pockets with advertisement revenue is never a bad thing. If you're wanting to start a podcast, there's only one place you should consider. Go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast.
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all taking time to listen to that commercial, but it would not be a Counsel in the Clutch podcast without a little NFL talk. So, the league off-season things going a little slow. We seen a little article the other day. Russell Wilson wanted out of Seattle. It was reported by Colin Cowherd on his show, but he talking about he want to go to New York. I'm just thinking maybe Sierra got something to do with that because he was happy in Seattle before he met her.
He's a Seattle guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, bro. He like Seattle was him. Why would he want to go to New York?
If it's true, if it's true, I mean,
if it's true. But Colin Coward usually be pretty accurate. He ain't just dropping too much fake news.
Oh yeah. He dropped a few things. I forgot what it was, but I was actually watching it live when he said it, and he was like, "Hey, I heard this from a source. I usually don't say things unless I'm pretty sure." And then he started naming other things that happened that he reported. I'm like, okay, so you must know something. But
yeah,
with that, I mean, him going to New York, I don't think it saves the Giants at all. But I mean, if he wants to leave Seattle, I don't know if they put that out there just to try to get a better contract because A-Rod just signed, so he the number one quarterback right now as far as pay. But I don't know if it's like a move to stay to get more money or he really want to go. It's kind of tough. I saw him throwing passes to Odell the other day, so I really don't know what to think, man.
That's crazy. That team would be crazy though if he joined it. I don't know what you talking about. They instantly the NFC East favorite.
Yeah, I agree. Because Russell and Saquon alone, you can't stop. I'd run the read option.
Hey man,
had them looking like
it's three parts to a football game though, man. Special teams, defense, and offense, man.
The Giants' defense played some good football. They just couldn't score.
Yeah, man, they got their corners though, but
still.
Yeah, you're right.
So you can score all you want, but if the corner's getting beat when it y'all know that. Y'all the Cowboys fans. Y'all know that.
Shut up.
No, we had a good defense this past year, though.
I mean,
our players just can't stop smoking weed. David Lawrence and not David Lawrence, whatever, buddy. David Irvin and then Randy Gregory, they both about to get suspended within a week's time of each other. Off the tree,
Stay
man.
off the weed, as Stephen A. Smith would say.
It's hard. It's hard for them to do that when they experiencing pain and they can't take nothing else for it.
They can.
Dion, it's ways around it, brother. They just ain't hustling right.
If it ain't ways around it, bro, you make that much money, bro. I'm giving somebody at least 5 figures to figure out a way around it, and you gonna stay on top of it. That's your job, and that's it. If it's that serious to me, bro.
SP, I don't condone illegal drug use, but it best believe it's ways around it.
I'm gonna find a way.
Here's the thing, though.
Serious.
They always said that the NFL drug tests are like the dummy tests because you know when it's coming. So for these dudes to fail it, they literally are smoking weed in times where they know they shouldn't be smoking weed. It's like,
and as long as you pass the test, they don't put you in the program. You good.
Yeah, that's why they call it the dummy test. It's like, yo, if you can't stop smoking weed for this stretch of time of the year when you know you're gonna get tested, like you really have a problem.
Hey, but speaking of dummy tests, I had to throw this in there. Antonio Brown, bro. He really think he about to get a big deal or get traded for something. The way he been acting, I can't see no team giving the Steelers any type of incentive to trade him.
Yeah.
Man, can't nobody take him serious with that blonde mustache.
And the gold and blonde and blue dreads.
Hey, it's funny SP has a problem with the gold mustache.
Yo, if we weren't doing Black History Month SP, I probably would have had to put you on that cover.
Hey y'all, if y'all don't know, SP he dyed his hair gold. And I don't know what possessed him to do it, but he really was taking selfies with the gold fade.
Whole time, it was a pride thing. So
a pride thing? What kind of pride?
So my teammate one day, before a tournament, he was dyeing his hair. And I was like, man, I ought to dye my hair blonde. You wouldn't do it. All right, bet. I told him I'd do it, right? So hours elapsed, you know what I'm saying? And to where one of my other teammates was actually doing it, and they said, "Oh, SP said he'd do it." I was like, no, "I did say it." So,
hey, bro, but you know, it's some things that you shouldn't do. That's like,
was their hair naturally blonde or?
Nah, none of them were. Matter of fact, it was 2 redhead dudes.
But SP, that's just like you shouldn't ask a black person to play a monkey. You shouldn't ask your black ass to dye their hair gold, bro. It just don't go together, bro.
SP thought he was Shelton Benjamin, man. It was that.
I promise you, he did. He had a wrestling match. He knew he was ready.
Singling on, he said, "Ain't no stopping me now. Come on, let's go."
That's what them non-Nubian women do to you, boy. How you tripping?
I ain't blaming on the women though.
You definitely can't blame on the women.
It got to be something because wrestling ain't do that to him. He couldn't even go back to Shell Road with that on his head, bro.
Yo,
oh man,
for real. How you think niggas would have reacted if you'd have went to Shell Road with your hair painted like a banana?
But he can't go back.
First off,
He out here looking like Gold Dust.
Said Gold Dust though.
Yeah.
All right, hey, we gonna get up off my man's though. He all right. He ain't like that. He done seen the light. He back now. He good money.
He back better than ever. Bald
Right
head.
back like he never left.
Working out all day.
Probably where my hair don't
Goes-
grow.
That's probably why your hair don't grow.
No bullshit.
The messy roots up. As my grandma would say, the messy roots up.
Oh God.
The messy roots up with them chemicals, man.
Sorry, SP. I ain't mean to bring that
But
up.
like off SP, man, where y'all think Le'Veon gonna go?
To the money.
All right. More specifically, what football team y'all think Le'Veon gonna go to?
A highest bidder. So if it's the Jets, the Colts, he going to the highest bidder, dog. He trying to get paid. I'm convinced he don't really care about winning no more. He want to get
They
paid.
said this man went up to 260.
Yeah, I believe it. He 225 on a regular day. So not doing nothing for a year. He probably was just chilling and gaining weight.
Nah, man, you don't follow his snap, man. He out here working.
Yeah, now, but he won't snapping during the season.
He was snacking during the season.
That's what I'm telling you. CJ Anderson Jr.
Hey man, CJ still be balling though. Le'Veon, the way he played, he can't be 260 playing like that.
He got 240 at most.
He played like a scat back, but he big.
How's CJ gonna sell out Todd Gurley though?
What'd he do?
He said that he was hurt. After everybody falling in line saying that he won't hurt, he gonna come behind all of them people say that the man was hurt though.
Hey, because people questioning him like, why you playing? He better than you. Well, that nigga was hurt.
Yeah.
That's why.
But CJ Anderson, he know he created a market for himself now. Somebody gonna pay him to be a starting back.
Yeah, you're right. He ain't got nothing to lose.
Come back to Denver, be a backup, man.
Oh, but don't talk about what's a kid named Philip Lindsay?
That's what I said, be a backup.
I like him, bro. Nice.
Yeah.
Philip Lindsay, he undrafted, I think, out of Nevada, right?
No, Colorado.
Colorado. Okay.
And he's from Colorado, so he's like a hometown kid.
Yeah.
And
that's
he
the
made
only
Pro Bowl.
thing Elway done done right.
That probably wouldn't even Elway, man. But
right. Shannon Sharp probably sent him or something.
It's crazy though when you can ask Terrell Davis if you can wear his jersey and he says good. And he didn't even play it down. Like, so Terrell Davis saw it early, gave him the blessing.
But he did it out of respect though, I think, because he balled out in the he was undrafted and he balled out on special teams in that first preseason game.
Yeah.
And if you follow Terrell Davis' story, that's how he made the Broncos team. His first preseason game, he got crazy.
Kickoff and smacking dude.
Kickoff back as a backup running back.
He was
made
like
the team
fifth back. Like he wasn't even scheduled to get like any type of running plays. Like, but he ended up people started falling off like flies and he just started balling. But yeah, Le'Veon, I don't know what makes the most sense of where he needs to go. Like, what do y'all think is the best fit for him?
Colts.
The Colts, but they running back was good already. But I think if you add Le'Veon with the running back they already had, you add a slot receiver too.
Right.
And they play indoors.
Yep. And you got T.Y. Hilton still healthy. Andrew Luck, if he can finish a season, but with the O-line they got already in place, that's a pretty good weapon.
Brissett as a backup though, unless he signs somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. What's their starting running back's name? I forgot. I couldn't remember.
Idea. I'm not investing in the Colts.
Marlon Mack.
Yep, that's it. So you put them two together, I think that's a good combo. This kind of random. I'm kind of excited. I want to see where Tyrod gonna end up, man.
Tyrod gonna be a model.
Come to Denver and take Flacco's spot, man.
Man, Tyrod has made $34 million in the league. I did not know that until today.
Oh yeah, when the Bills signed him, they gave him a contract, then they extended him, and then he went to Cleveland. And I don't know if they extended him, but they did let him finish out his contract.
Crazy.
But yeah, I don't know.
He done made plenty of bread, and that boy stayed healthy. He had like 1 or 2 concussions, a couple knee injuries, but nothing major.
Yeah,
that's big.
He gonna be somebody backup though. Just for good old purposes, man. Like good old fun purposes. He need to go down to Tampa, yeah. Just so him and Cotton can be down there chilling, man. Just like old times.
Cotton still down there in Tampa? Man.
I hit him up. I was supposed to go there in January, but things happen. But
yeah, shoot, he gonna be a GM.
Yeah,
he had to been in the league about 6 years now, huh? Got to be 4 or at least 5.
When did I graduate? 12. I think he was there 11. When did the Seahawks win their? Well, no. When did Green Bay win their?
Shoot, that was in the
Definitely like
2000s.
I think because he was at Green Bay the year before Seattle won, and then Seattle, and then he went to he was at Green Bay for a couple years, and he went to Tampa. So he's been there for a minute.
But he's been down in Tampa for a minute. Yeah,
He's established now.
He definitely gonna be in somebody general manager, head of player personnel.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna make this a snippet, and I'm gonna text you. We need to get you on the show, man. It's slow times. When you got time, we need to get you on the show. But definitely.
I'm just trying to get an internship. My resume ready. Throw that in there.
Go ahead and try to link up real quick.
Yeah, why not? You know what I mean?
Thanks for tuning in to another week of Counseling the Clutch. Like I said before, and I'm going to always say in the future, if you don't rock with us, forget you and everybody that rock with you, because you ain't us.